Sleep Token accused of doing blackface, Taylor Swift bought back all her albums, and does crowdsurfing ruin concerts? All that and more on this week's episode of
The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Oh, oh. The Jesse Lee Show. Jesse Lee Show.
Hey, it's me, Jesse Lee, aka Music News Daddy. Thanks for stopping on the podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Your weekly source of what's trending in the world of rock, metal, alternative, metalcore, new metal, anything with the guitars in it. Normally, we cover a lot of genres. If you're new around here, please, find that follow button and find that subscribe button and bang your head on those buttons, okay? I also need you to do one more thing for me while you're fingering around on these apps here. Leave me a 5-star rating if you can on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you're listening to this at. Drop that 5 stars. Even if you don't think it's a 5-star show, leave 5 stars anyway, right? It might get better. What you should be doing is you should be preemptively leaving 5 stars and the hopes that I will eventually deliver a 5-star show, huh? You gotta think positive. Anyway, this show might be a little late today. I'm not sure what time you're listening to this at. I'm recording this later than usual. My son is on summer break right now, so he's commenced the 3 months of being at home and just royally screwing up my schedule. No, I'm just kidding. I love having him home. Obviously, love hanging out with the little dude. But yeah, I am recording this a little later in the day than I normally would. So I don't know. You might be getting this a day later. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Future Jesse will know. We're going to dive right into our first story here. Sleep Token accused of doing blackface, apparently. I didn't post about this when this news first started going around on the socials because I thought it was pretty silly. And then it got sillier somehow. So Kali Uchis, who is a pop singer with millions of streams, she dropped a new record a couple weeks ago on the same week that Sleep Token dropped their album, Even in Arcadia. So Kali posts a screenshot of the Billboard chart of the top 5, and she's here at number 4 spot. And number 1 is, of course, Sleep Token with Even in Arcadia. And when she posted this, she put a heart emoji that covered up Sleep Token's face, or Vessel's face, rather. It covered up the Sleep Token album. It covered up everything. Basically couldn't see anything. It just said, number 1, and then you can't see anything. If you didn't know who it was, you didn't know. And then she posted another story saying that she did this all without payola and without any gimmicks, which a lot of people thought, okay, she's covering up Sleep Token, she's covering up Vessel's face, and then she makes a post about payola and gimmicks. So is she alleging that Sleep Token paid to get the top spot? Oh no, that's blasphemy. Yeah. So again, I saw this post and I saw a lot of people sharing it. I was like, it could be a coincidence. It could be she put the heart emoji on there as a coincidence, possibly. Probably not. It probably wasn't. But, it looks pretty obvious that she was trying to cover up Vessel's face. And the funny part was, if that was the case, she was number 4. She wasn't even close to the number 1 spot. So I don't know why she's all mad at Sleep Token for nabbing that number 1. It's not like she was number 2 or something. But again, I don't think it was a coincidence. I think she was doing it on purpose. And as we later found out, that turned out to be true. But again, I didn't mention it on the podcast. I'm like, whatever. But now some Sleep Token fans did not let it go. And they started badgering Kali in the comment sections of her TikToks and Instagram and asking her about it. And this one comment asked, imagine being so petty that you censor the number 1 band on an IG story. Sleep Token is better. Kali responded and said, to be honest, I didn't feel comfortable posting a photo of someone in blackface. It really wasn't deeper than that, doll. That's pretty deep. To accuse a band of doing blackface, that's a little deep, right? Then another comment says, so you're not comfortable posting Sleep Token on your story because of alleged blackface, but you are comfortable with showing Morgan Wallen's face and name when he is a known racist. So are you comfortable with posting a racist on your story? And then Kali said, I actually know nothing about either person. I just saw a photo that made me uncomfortable and I covered it up. So yeah, she did delete her comments. I'm assuming now she realizes that, Vessel was not doing blackface. I have a hard time believing she really believed that in the first place. I feel like maybe she was just doing this to stir the pot a little bit, possibly. If she did, mission accomplished, obviously. She nailed it. I remember I tried posting this on TikTok, and initially the post was banned. It wasn't banned, but it was like definitely being shadow banned because it wasn't being pushed out on the For You page. And I think it's because of the word blackface in it. Like TikTok tries to really tone down a post like that. But the post ended up taking off anyway because people were searching for it. If you go, because I was checking out my analytics and it says like the post was not shown on the For You page at all, but it was searched by like hundreds of thousands of people. So people are now obviously onto this story. They're looking for more information on it, but I think that's where it's going to end. It looks like it doesn't look like she's going to, make any more comments about it. Hopefully not. It was funny too. When I posted about it, I said in the post, Kali, who is a pop singer with millions of streams before anyone asks who, because anytime, I post about a pop singer, it's always who, and it's like my comment section is full of owls, like who, and I said that, and still people are commenting, just because she's a pop singer with millions of streams doesn't mean we know who she is. I don't know what more context you need from me. Like, I'm not going to give you her biography in this little post. That's not really about her as her music. I'm giving you a little bit of context, but not enough, I guess. Let's check out some of the comments that we got here. Casey Carlson says, so last time I checked, you had to be using blackface performatively to make fun of a person of color. If you think this is doing that, touch grass and get off the internet. Critical Carrie Casey said, as someone who's black, I don't speak for all of us, but I'm pretty sure none of us think this is blackface. Stop being outraged for us. A lot of Karen memes. A lot of people cannot believe this. How chronically online can you be to think that Sleep Token is doing blackface? So yeah, Kali is not receiving very much support in at least my comment section, but let me know. If you let me know what side of this whole situation you're on. It looks like it's going to be done and over with now. I don't think she's going to double down on this anymore and keep committing to the idea that Sleep Token was doing this. But let me know if you find Sleep Token's body paint offensive at all. Another big story, Taylor Swift bought back her first 6 albums. These are the 6 albums that she's been recording over the last few years and re-released them. Scooter Braun is the person who bought the albums back in 2019, bought all the rights to her masters for $300 million. And then he sold them off to a company called Shamrock Capital, which is owned by the Disney heirs or something like that. Like Walt Disney's grandson originally started the company or something. They bought the Taylor Swift masters for $360 million. And now, today, Taylor Swift has officially bought back all the rights to her first 6 albums. She allegedly spent over $1 billion on this, but I mean, the numbers aren't confirmed. I've seen a lot of figures being thrown around, but we're looking at 9 digits at least, 9 figures. $1 billion, and she'll make that billion back. She'll make that back right away. She might. Honestly, I mean, she doesn't need to keep re-recording her old albums, but she'll probably still do that anyway. I mean, I think she has 2 more albums left that she hasn't re-recorded. Why not? Re-record them. She'll probably still do it. Fans will still buy it. She could own the original, re-record it, and release it, and the fans, the Swifties, will still buy it. This kind of does take a piss out of anyone that was trying to, defund her private jet fuel fund by, streaming, like by trying to hate stream the original tracks, the original album, to try to take money out of her pocket. So now if you're not a Swiftie, if you're anti-Swift, you got to find a new route to do that. I saw one comment said the Eras tour was like a giant bake sale so Mother could buy back her property, which, I mean, the Eras tour definitely played a factor in her capital. I mean, that was one of the highest grossing tours of all time. So she definitely made enough money off of that to probably fork over $1 billion to buy her catalog back. And I've seen a lot of people say this might encourage a lot of other artists to do the same thing, because it's been a big thing in the music industry for the last few years where these legacy artists are selling off their entire catalog, like Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan, Kiss recently did it. They're selling off their entire catalog, their likeness rights and all that for one big chunk of change. And I don't think that's really going to, I don't think this Taylor Swift situation is really going to change that too much. Because I think when these people, especially when the legacy artists are doing it, I think they're trying to cash out. They're trying to, cash out their chips and, walk out with a fat payday. They're not looking to keep making new stuff that, they have control over. There's we're done. We got it. I mean, not to say that those artists won't release more music, but I think they're trying to just get out while the getting's good. If someone's handing them a fat stack, they're going to take it. Some other quick stories to get into. Linkin Park played at the UCL finals in Germany. I had people message me, ask me why I haven't mentioned this earlier. I honestly didn't know what the UCL was. I had to look it up. It's a soccer championship, I guess, or I'm sorry, football championship for all my friends not in the US. The UEFA Champions League final in Germany. So that's pretty cool. But something that a lot of people are pointing out is Mike Shinoda was wearing a shirt with a deathcore logo on it, and it was actually the Linkin Park name in like a deathcore font, and he drew it himself. So that's pretty cool. And they should definitely sell that. If they have not already started making that shirt, they definitely should, because people are already asking for it. Iggy Pop was wheeled off in a casket at his farewell concert. 78 years old, man. Just still rocking on stage, shirtless, looking like a melted candle. Love it, man. That's not me hating. I hope to look that good when I'm 78. Iron Maiden thanked fans who have been respecting the band's wishes to not use their phones at the current tour they're on. They've asked fans not to film sets the entire show on their phones. And the band thanked fans for not doing that. And the ones that are respecting it. For the ones that are not, the band said, the manager actually came out and said, "I wish you nothing but a very sore arm." And I listen, man, I'm sure the Iron Maiden shows are great, but I don't think anyone's cranking one out there, okay? System of a Down, Shavo, he said the song Bounce was the song that has the most what the fuck lyrics, according to a new interview in Metal Hammer. He said, I wrote that song musically, and Serge wrote the vocals, and it was called PJs. Instead of jump, pogo, 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 it was da, fisha, 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 fisha. I was like, what the fuck are you saying, bro? Actually, every album has had it where I say, what the fuck is he talking about? But that's just part of the beauty of Serge. He does what he wants, and there's always something there for everyone to read into. So that's pretty cool. And something about Bounce, every time that song comes up, I think about, because that song, if you're not aware, is about group sex, and like a very gratuitous amount of group sex. And they use that in the trailer for the movie Secret Life of Pets. And I always thought that was a funny move. I get it. If it sounds like a fun song, Bounce, pogo, 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 pogo. But they're talking about banging. So not really a age-appropriate song to be used in a kids movie, probably. Former Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist Josh Klinghoffer was charged for vehicular manslaughter last year when he hit a pedestrian while allegedly not paying attention while driving. I will not play a clip of the song Can't Stop here. This is a highbrow show. We're not going to do that. But as Rolling Stone reported, now Klinghoffer has been sentenced to 1 year of informal probation and 60 days of community service labor for his role in the incident. And Straight from the Path released a new album and then broke up. Damn. Album was such a banger, the band imploded. Now, they said there's no bad blood. They're just it's time to put the band to rest. And Craig Reynolds, their drummer, has a really awesome podcast called the Down Podcast. If you haven't checked it out, don't go now. Listen to this podcast first, but then go check out Craig's podcast. So I'm hoping maybe he'll put more, time into that, because his episodes are pretty infrequent when he posts, probably because of his, touring schedule, and he's got other stuff going on. So maybe that means we'll get more of, his content creation side of things. Few new releases. Baby Metal collab with Slaughter to Prevail for their new song, Song 3, off the album Metal 4th, dropping June 27th. Yellowcard released 2 singles, not one, but 2 singles, Better Days and Honesty Eye. It's off the album. The album's called Better Days, and it's produced by Travis Barker. That's coming out in October 10th. Hailstorm released the title track for their upcoming album, Everest, which is coming out in August. And we got new stuff from Chevelle, Fit for a King, Rise Against, a ton more. If you want to hear all of this week's new music, I do have a new Music Friday playlist you can go check out. I update that every week on, which day do I do that on? Fridays. That's right. I do it on Fridays. All right, let's get into our poll for this week. Does crowdsurfing ruin shows? I asked on my Instagram story what you think about crowdsurfing, and 15% of you said, I love it, I do it. 73% of you said, I don't do it, but I'm happy if others want to do it. You do you. 12% said, I hate it, and I don't think others should do it. And for me, I fall in this middle category. Like, I don't crowd surf, but I have no problem with others doing it. Like, it's totally fine. I'll help you up. I'll get you up there. But like, I just, I know myself. First of all, I'm going to lose something. I'm going to drop something. I'm going to lose my phone. Or more than likely, I'm going to get dropped in my head. Like, if there's anybody in that crowd that's going to fall on their head, it's going to be me. So I'm just going to take that out of the equation, take myself out of it, eliminate any possibilities. And yeah, I don't want to lose my stuff. I know I could hand stuff to people because I've been that guy. I've been that guy's held my friend's stuff while they went and crowd surfed. Like I'm some dad at a playground holding his kid's stuff. Like, oh yeah, you go have fun, honey. You go have fun. I'll hold your cell phone and vape pen. You know, you go play with your friends. I'll be here. You know, people have been DMing me about this poll, and they said they don't mind it, but they do hate it when somebody does it like 50 times in a row. They just are constantly crowd surfing. You know, getting hit in the head with the same pair of Vans slip-ons from behind over and over again has got to be annoying. People doing it during slow songs. So maybe there needs to be some kind of like punch card system, you know? Like maybe you crowd surf and they like punch your card, or they put an X on your hand to mark it, put a stud on your belt, something to kind of like mark like, okay, you've crowd surfed one time. Now you've got 3 more chances. You know, that'd be an option to make everyone happy. And also if they did do that, and if someone is doing the whole crowd surfing on a crowd surfer thing, does that count for like a 2-for-1? Is that a BOGO deal? Crowd surfing, like, do you get like 1 stamp if you crowd surf on a crowd surfer, or is that 2? You know, these are factors that we have to figure out if we're going to implement the system. You know, if we're going to try to, you know, get some kind of like order here. In the meantime, I say just let people do what they want and be aware and keep your head on a swivel. That's all you can do. But let me know, do you like crowd surfing at shows? Do you think it ruins the experience for you, or do you think it's cool? All right, let's watch some videos. If you have the benefit of being able to look at your phone or your screen right now, I suggest you do so. We're going to watch some videos. If you're listening to this on Spotify, we do have this is a video platform as well. So just go ahead, open up there, you know, do the little Face ID, put your code in, whatever you got to do. Look at your phone. You know, take a break from looking at other things. Look at your phone and watch some videos with me if you want.
M96.9, playing rock and roll so dirty it comes with a shot of penicillin. WCUM 96.9, drop the Miller Lite. Your daughter's got soccer practice at 4. WCUM 96.9, with the metal mania that'll turn mommy's milk into molten magma. WCUM 96.9, playing nothing but rock and roll pelvis crushers that'll leave you fried and glazed like a Krispy Kreme donut. WCUM
he hits a punch in every time.
We know what you did in the bathroom when your wife was still sleeping, you sick pig. WCUM 96.9, playing rock hard rock that'll keep you rock hard despite your age. WCUM 96.9, playing Greta Van Fleet. WCUM 96.9, playing all the tracks that you were conceived to all those years ago. WCUM 96.9, the home of essay allegations.
Jesus.
WCUM 96.9, you don't deserve it and you never did, but we're gonna give it to you anyways. WCUM 96.9, wake up. Wake up. Wake up, they're coming.
I will listen to that station. I'm not going to lie.
Text back, text me back, text back. Where did you go? Text back, text me back. I saw you text me 9 minutes ago. Text back, text back, text back, text me back.
When you get the chance, thank you.
Don't ghost Anthony. Do not go. Don't leave him on red. We got Limp Bizkit playing during Monsoon, playing the song Rollin'. Yeah, this was a recent show they did, I believe in Philly, and it's a literal monsoon coming down. Like, how do you not get electrocuted? Like, I know the drums obviously aren't plugged in, so he's fine, but you would think, like, Freddie D might get shocked or something playing in that much rain. Do they have, like, anti-rust protection on those drums? Looks badass, though. They really should have. I hope somebody filmed this and like they're going to use it in a music video at some point. I mean, obviously we have this film, but I hope there's like some better quality film. Trying to put the plastic down. That sucks for the band to be playing that rain, but sucks even more to be a fan sitting in that rain. Man, I've been in some pretty rainy conditions at shows, and if you don't have a poncho, man, your day is fucked. Cleveland is lobbying for the All-American Rejects to perform at the Taco Bell Baja Blast. We talked about this last week, about how All-American Rejects have been playing in backyards and bowling alleys and just obscure locations all across the country. And now all these cities are like lobbying and try to get them like, hey, come play in my field, or hey, I've got a parking lot you can come hang out in. So Cleveland has been doing this thing called the Baja Blast. at this one specific Taco Bell on 117th for, I don't know, maybe a year now or something like that. They do these just crazy awesome shows in this parking lot of this Taco Bell. They call it the Baja Blast. And they're trying to get All American Rejects to go there. And this is just me trying to help out. This is me trying to get the word out there even more. Like, look at that. Doesn't it look like a good time? It's like a Baja good time. It's a Baja Blast, if you will. It's a good place to have a Baja breakdown. All right, let's get into some questions. Your Q's, my A's. Aiden Turner 208 on Instagram says, does Sabrina Carpenter go hard on a metal playlist? Sabrina Carpenter goes hard on any playlist. I am a big fan of Sabrina Carpenter. I will rock that on any playlist. It will sound super out of place coming up after, like a, I don't know, a Knocked Loose song or something probably, but I won't fight you on the aux, that's for sure. SJ Sidekick on Instagram said, when are you interviewing Spencer and will you show him a captcha when you do? Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills, who may or may not have been replaced by an AI robot recently. The band posted this really odd video of a interviewer calling out Spencer Charnas at a public event, saying that he's not the real Spencer Charnas. He's a hologram or a gifted actor. And now Spencer has been posting all this very bizarre comments and posts saying that, he doesn't sound very human-like. Like, for instance, I shared the news over on my Instagram. Where's that here? Like, he's making posts saying, my name is Spencer Charnas, and I am a part of the horror band Ice Nine Kills. Remember, things aren't always as they appear. Thank you for supporting my musical group. Very, very unhuman-like things. And I posted about this on my Instagram, and Spencer actually commented, and he said, I appreciate your concern for my well-being, Jesse Lee. I can confirm that I remain the same metal hardcore screamo performer I was just a few days ago. Thank you for your kind wishes, and I wish you the best of luck with your radio talk show on Satellite Radio XM. So, yeah, I think they're having some fun there. Or maybe he's a robot. Who knows? But yeah, if I do interview him, I will definitely show him some captcha. I'll make him identify which picture has, a bicycle in it. I'll do something to confirm, I'm talking to a real person. The Austin Waters on Instagram said, should I Prevail look into replacing Brian or lean into a more unclean sound with their vocals? I don't think they need to replace Brian at all. I mean, they've got Dylan, the guitarist in the band, who sings great. Eric can sing as well. Obviously, Brian's missed. I'm super missed having him in the band, him being in the band. But I don't think they need to replace him. I think they can, just go forward with the current core group. And as far as should they lean into just doing straight unclean vocals? So like I said last week, I'm a fan of having some cleans in the music. I like my songs to have some cleans, the chorus or something like that. So I do hope, like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but like I said last week, I do hope that going forward, some of the songs have Dylan or Eric singing a little bit on them, not just straight screaming all the way through. But, we'll see what happens. Pack Owner 2011 on Instagram said, favorite movie? Friday. Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, classic. No doubt. I own 3 different copies of it on DVD. Not really on purpose. It's just, I would lose one and buy one and then find it, But there was one time I bought the Friday 4-pack. It was it was Friday 1, 2, and 3, and then another All About the Benjamins movie or something like that. That's besides the point. Friday. That is my all-time favorite movie. My Daily Dose of Female on Instagram said, you have an impressive physique, but what muscle are you self-conscious of? Well, first of all, thank you. Second of all, not the love muscle, right? Yeah. No, but seriously, I guess I would like to have a bigger chest. I would like to build up the chest a little bit more. The chesticles right now, they're getting there, but they're not exactly where I want to be yet. And I have a pretty lean frame, so packing on muscle, and that's not me, that's not a humble brag, that's not me complaining. Like, I am just a leaner dude, so it's a little bit harder for me to pack on the muscles sometimes. I can pack on the belly fat easily. I can definitely get a beer belly going in a quick weekend. Mr. 501Z said, do you have a day job, or are you able to do this full time? Believe it or not, someone pays me for this. I know it's shocking, but yeah, no, this is my full-time gig. I have the Sirius XM show on on Octane. I host on there, doing the Octane breakdown. Then I create content on all the different social media platforms. And then I'll do like brand deals and stuff. None of it's a lot of money. No one's giving me a lot of money. I'm getting a little bit of money. And honestly, the way I always describe it, it's like rivers of pennies. You just got to have all these little rivers of pennies coming at you. And eventually they form a revenue stream. Water analogies. So this is my full-time thing. I'm not a janitor anywhere at nighttime or anything like that. Manic Entity on Instagram said, give us a hot take. Hot take. I think it's okay to wear a band t-shirt, even if you don't listen to the band. If you think the design is cool, wear it. I don't care. Asian American 113 on YouTube said, bro, it's fucking weird it's fucking weird to want everyone to call you daddy. Stop it. Listen, I don't want you to call me daddy. You want to call me daddy. And that's the problem. It makes you feel very uncomfortable and you're not sure how to feel about it. I get it. It's it makes you nervous, but it's you that wants to call me daddy. And no, so obviously he's talking about one of my recent videos where I made the joke, said thank you, tell me, or I said everyone say thank you, music news daddy. It's a joke, dude. If it upsets you, if it really grinds your gears, you might be taking it a little too seriously, okay? Yeah. Some people on social media call me music news daddy. It's a fun little thing that we all, enjoy. Some people really fucking hate it. And actually, the people that hate it make me like it, doing it even more. So, yeah, no, I will not stop calling myself music news daddy. I will abide by my rock and roll babies out there. Speaking of rock and roll babies, that does it for me this week. If you can find that in your heart to leave that 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you're listening to that, please do so. Also, be sure to bang your head on that follow button on Spotify, subscribe button on YouTube. And above all else, please share this episode with somebody that doesn't suck. All right? Take it easy now, and bye-bye.
The Jesse Lee Show.